And we're live.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 34, Kids Deserve It. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators and game changers from around the country. Also, don't forget, you can check us out on iTunes.
And we also want to remind you that our book is officially up for sale on Amazon. And when you pick up a copy, if you can't wait for it to come in, after you buy the paperback, the Kindle version drops to $2.99. So you can get a copy of that while you're waiting for your paperback to come in. You can also check us out, our social media accounts, where we're advertising some new t-shirt sales as well if you want to pick up a Kids Deserve It t-shirt.
Some new colors and a women's V-neck, which has been very popular, very popular. Also, starting this week, we'll be starting our brand new Kids Deserve It chat on Wednesdays on Twitter. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. CST, and check out Todd's Periscope right before the chats at 7:30 p.m. CST. He usually does it in his backyard, which is pretty cool. And this week we've got another great guest, but first we want to introduce ourselves. I'm Adam Welcome, Director of, I almost called myself a principal. Director of Innovation and Technology.
And I'm Todd Nesloni, Elementary School Principal in Navasota, Texas, and our guest this week is...
I'm Jeff Veal. I'm currently serving as a middle school assistant principal in Frisco, Texas, and also help co-found Lead Up Chat.
Awesome. We also want to remind our viewers to participate in the chat via social media and share out some of the great learning that you hear taking place, and feel free to throw out any of your own questions for us to use during the interview.
So, Jeff, we got a few questions for you. So for those who don't know about you, tell us about yourself.
Well, I have been in education, having served both elementary and middle school, having served both on the side of having been a teacher as well as an administrator for the last several years. Before that, my story is a little bit interesting in the sense that education was a second career for me. I came out of a student ministry background and just an overall nonprofit pastoral world where I had the opportunity to serve students and families in a variety of different locations, from Dallas to Austin, all over. So my background was in the ministry realm, and then I transitioned, bringing a lot of what I learned into education with me.
Cool.
So what's something innovative, Jeff, that you've implemented at your school for kids?
Sure, that's a really great question, Todd. You know, one of the things that we believe in a lot in the school that I'm a part of is that we don't give up on kids. We do whatever it takes. And so I don't personally take credit for any of these innovative initiatives. And, you know, innovation can come in a variety of different forms. And one of the things for us is that we try to really look at that whole child. And a lot of the things that you guys care about with Kids Deserve It, we want kids when they walk in the door to want to be there. And for us, it begins before school starts. This year, for example, with our teachers, one of the things is we're going to do a zone tour. We have 3 elementaries that feed our school, and you know, Frisco is a very fast-growing area. We're putting up 4 schools on average a year right now. So our zones are constantly changing, and in the process of that, we want our teachers to really understand our school culture. And so we go and we specifically find places within our zone to take a bus, get out, interact with our people, serve with them, get them really exposed to our community, let our kids, before school starts, really meet all our teachers, meet our team, so that they know that when they come to school on day one, they're able to build a relationship. And then throughout the year, some of the things that we're doing, we have a Pay It Forward club that really allows our kiddos to come together in the name of serving other people and do it with a purpose. Of course, you know, I think on the other side of this too, academically, we're in an area that, you know, we want to experiment with the things that other people are doing out there that resonate with kids, giving kids choice, opportunity, in their differentiation of learning, giving them opportunities for coding and Genius Hour, all of those different areas. But ultimately for us, you know, we want to touch kids' lives, and we want them to be at school. And so it begins every day with giving them opportunities to serve and have our staff just on the ground level working with our kiddos.
Nice. You know, you said bus, and I just got to jump in. I was thinking of Ron Clark and his big red bus, and that time I called Todd as Ron Clark, and he thought I was Ron Clark, and then Ron called us. I just had this. Todd, do you remember that time when Ron Clark called us and I punked you?
It's not ringing a bell.
It's in the book. He remembers. So, Jeff, what's one of your favorite things to do as an administrator?
One of my favorites, I mean, truly is, and I know this is going to sound crazy, much like some of you guys, it's duty. it's being in the cafeteria, but I get a kick out of just really getting to be able to go and be in teachers' classrooms. That is my favorite place. I would love to say that I get to be there more frequently than I do. I don't think you can ever be in a classroom enough, getting down at a student's level. And I'm a little tall at 6'4", so I have to stoop way down a lot of times at a student's desk level and just say, hey, what are you learning? What's this making you think about? Creating those questions for them, because again, it's one thing to teach the material, it's another thing for students to be able to articulate it back to you and to communicate what it means to them and why in the world it even matters. So anytime I get to do that, I love being able to just talk with our kids.
Nice.
Jeff, I love how you say you're a little tall at 6'4". I remember when we first met, and I was like getting a neck injury from trying to have a conversation with you. I had to back way up, so it was more on eye level.
It's true. It's true.
Jeff, what was school like for you growing up?
I loved school as a kid, and I'm gonna be real honest. I struggled kindergarten, first, a lot of second grade. I was one of those, they talk about boys developing several years later than girls a lot of times academically. I think I was that kid. I think school took off for me about third grade. I had a teacher who really helped me to invest in the love of reading and took a real interest in helping me find something to connect with at school. And previous to that, I just don't think I found my spot at school. And then as I think back on teachers who shaped and defined me, my 4th and 5th grade teachers. They were the ones that invested in me, gave me opportunities. I had that really cool opportunity to have a teacher loop up with me, and then some of your schools. That is a rich opportunity for relationship building to happen. And I am very thankful. I always say my 5th grade teacher, Miss Johnson, I remember to this day, years and years later, she invested in me at a level that nobody else has before or since. And I was one of those kids who ended up falling in love with school, but it took me a while. It took me a while to get there. And I appreciate those teachers who took the time to go above and beyond the curriculum to really make an investment in our lives by hosting clubs and letting us stay after school to help and pass out papers, and who tell stories about their lives. And I think that's one of the reasons I love Miss Johnson, and that's the reason why we love a lot of our teachers. They talk about their families and their kids, and they made it real, and it wasn't just, okay, kids, today we're going to learn. It was so much more than that.
Nice. Jeff, so we talk about dreams and wishes a lot with Kids Deserve It. What do you wish happened more in education?
I wish that in education a lot of times for there to be more of a conversation where we're really honest with ourselves, that we would allow ourselves to have kids be a part of the conversation a little bit more with us sometimes than we do, and allow there to be opportunities for dissonance in our school communities, not where people are being contrary or where people are attempting to create conflict, but where we're so honest with ourselves that we are open to being vulnerable enough to accept that feedback from students, from our staffs, to be able to say we could get better and be okay with that, and truly allow ourselves to reflect in a way that allows our communities to grow forward. We get real wrapped up in our tasks, and sometimes we need to just step back, and we need to be able to shine the light on what is it not only that we're doing really well, but where could we just get so much stronger. Nice. And we can let the school calendar really drive our day in, day out programming and the things we have to cover. Sometimes I'm concerned to the detriment of being able to have a really careful self-examination.
Right. Jeff, you also co-founded the Lead Up Chat on Twitter, #LeadUpChat. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about that and how it started and what it seeks to do?
Absolutely. So Lead Up was born out of a desire to help leaders, regardless of position, to take their place in influencing from all spheres, whether they are a classroom teacher, whether, quite honestly, they're a student, if you were serving at a district level, at a campus administrative level. We just sensed that there was a real need to expand and grow a professional learning network because we see it in our own districts. And the person that I co-founded that with was Nathan Lang, and we came together. At that time, Nathan was a director of curriculum for the Nashville schools, and I was an administrator in Frisco. And through just conversations of finding each other on Twitter, like a lot of us do, we together found we had a shared vision, and we had the same passion to empower educators to embrace that call to lead forward and to really lead up. Because regardless of whatever position you're in, we can always be influencing up. And sometimes educators will minimize their own voice. And the power of your voice is really influential. And it's helping other leaders to step out and take risks and to have those bold conversations with one another. And it's been exciting over the last year. It's really been the last year, much like Kids Deserve It, where there's been a lot of grassroots. And people have just galvanized around that mission and that call to have really thoughtful conversations about what it is to lead other people with purpose and with passion, and to lead them well in each one of our school districts and our campuses.
Nice. Jeff, you know, we all have those days when we don't want to get out of bed and don't want to go to school.
Nah.
I do sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
What do you do to kick your butt in gear?
I always come back to my mission. You know, I'm very much guided by my own personal mission and values and principles, and I am a man of faith. And so for me, it's living something larger than myself, and understanding that each day I die to myself a little bit so that I can live for something that's bigger than me. And that happens, you know, every day when I put in front of me that student who needs me to be present, that teacher who needs me to be involved in their life. Maybe for me, it's that I know I need to have that passing conversation in that doorway to be able to encourage somebody. It's knowing that if I don't show up today, who will? And so I really attempt to keep that in front of myself. And we're all busy. A lot of us have families, or we have kids, and we have other things that are going on. But I try never to have mission drift and keep that mission right in front of me at all times. And you're right, Adam, on many a days, it's really difficult, especially the night before when maybe I had a game that went late, and I'm still being an administrator on duty till 10 o'clock at night, and I got to get up and get in the car at 7 o'clock in the morning and be ready to greet kids and teachers and be on my best.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Nice.
So, Jeff, who is someone that inspires or challenges you to be better?
You know, this isn't a cop-out answer. I really do think that it for me, happens in a variety of different faces. I think some of the people that I have encountered, particularly over this last year, this journey, who continue to sharpen me, are some of the guys in my life. We call each other the Bomb Diggity Bros. And these are guys who are across the country who are serving at district and campus levels. It's a smaller group of guys who we're able to go and, let's be honest, blow off some steam some days. But then there's a lot of days where we will challenge each other to kick it into gear, and we seek each other out for advice, and we seek each other for leadership, and just to encourage and to laugh. I mean, if we're not, there are days and there's times if you're not laughing, you're crying. Let's be honest. And the truth of it is, this should never be so hard of work that we can't find some joy and laugh a little bit. You know, we work hard, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't enjoy it. Right. And so we need to surround ourselves with people who will challenge us. And for me too, it comes in the form of those I read. You know, someone who influences me a lot and has influenced a lot of how we do our structure of lead up has been Seth Godin. That's been someone who's been a major influencer in the way I view creativity, innovation, how I view relationship building. And so that's probably, for me, if we talk in terms of the world of publication, a big influence on my current trajectory.
Right. Nice. Okay, Jeff, the time has come. Every week, we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers. What's your challenge for the week?
All right. So one of the things I want to challenge us with is that leadership is built one decision at a time. And those who lead well always find others to take with them. And so my challenge this week is to find three. The three people in your life this week that you know that you can influence and have a sit down with. Maybe it's take out to coffee. Maybe it's to grab lunch with. And I know a lot of times for us in this world of education, it can be easy to say, oh, I'm too busy. But finding 3, and it might come in the form of writing that note or picking up that phone and making that phone call. But this week, I want to challenge everyone to find 3 people who they're going to lead up, and they're going to influence, and they're going to challenge, because ultimately, those are going to be the people who are touching other kids' lives, and we touch kids' lives through other people.
Right. Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being a guest on our show tonight. Really appreciate your insight and your passion and everything that you've had to share. So thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we want to thank all of our viewers for watching and all the tweets y'all have been sharing. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Kids Deserve It, as well as Facebook, Instagram. It's all Kids Deserve It, and the hashtag as well. And remember to join our Twitter chat that is starting this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And check out my Periscope show as well right before the Twitter chat, about 30 minutes before. So thanks, everybody, so much, and we will see you all soon.
Thanks, Jeff.